I've found my happy medium on Kate time, though. 10 minutes is too far out because 10 minutes, I'm like, ugh, I still got time. Like, it doesn't trick me enough. Where 5 minutes, that's a good window where it's like, yep, got to be booking it. Come on, move it. Move it.
Oh, yeah. You know what? This morning was one of those mornings where I had to get up a little bit earlier than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And the alarm went off, and I was like, I can't snooze that right now. And I stared at the ceiling for like a minute, and I was like, okay, let's go.
Move it.
And I got up and started going.
Yeah, pep talk yourself. It's going to be a great day, Matt. Just one foot in front of the other. But you got to get out of this bed.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic. It's been a great day.
My day did not start off so fantastic.
What happened?
Well, I was telling you that I was feeling kind of clumsy the other day. I was like butterfingers and dropping stuff. Well, last night, I apparently just took my head off and put it on the counter and thought, I don't need you. I'm never going to think again. I made chili in the crock pot last night.
Oh.
So that we could have it for dinner tonight. So I got it all ready, and it's in the crock pot, and it's warmed up and whatever. I used my last 2 cans of tomatoes, or I used the last can in the pantry, which I don't know how this happened, but 3 of the cans were my last cans. Brown my ground beef, throw it in the crock pot. All I'm going to do is put it in the fridge last night so that today I can just plug it in and let it simmer, and it'll be perfect. In an effort to let it cool down a little bit before I put it in the fridge, I just forgot about it, Matt. Mm-hmm. I left a whole thing of chili with my last ingredients. So I'm going to have to go to the store to make more chili. And I'm like, that is such a waste of food. I'm so frustrated with myself because I was thinking dinner's taken care of tomorrow and I'm not, eating out. It's going to be good. All I have to do is make the cinnamon rolls. And nope, throwing away a whole pot of chili.
Because of the ground beef sit in the danger zone for like 12 hours?
Right. I mean, it was room temperature. It wasn't even still warm anymore. So, just for safety.
Were you tempted at all just to say screw it and plug the crock pot in?
Totally tempted, but also because we're coming up on Thanksgiving week and getting work done before and getting everybody else in the family taken care of. Like, I don't have time for people to be sick. I don't have time for a stomach bug. I don't have time for old chili to run its course.
So it's best to experiment with food poisoning when there's not a holiday coming up.
Correct. When you can deal with it.
That's a good point. And
Monty's out of town this week, so I'm going to be the only one dealing with it. So that's no fun.
You're eating chili without Monty?
He'll be here for the weekend. I mean...
Is that what you're indicating? Oh, my God.
He'll get leftovers. It'll be fine. I can't eat a whole pot of chili without him.
I sure hope not. It'd be devastating. The kids not like chili?
They do, but they don't... I mean, getting them to do leftover chili is kind of hard. They love it the first night when the cinnamon rolls are nice and warm out of the oven.
I'm glad you brought the cinnamon rolls back up. So cinnamon rolls with the chili, is that a staple?
Oh, always. It is a must.
That sounds like a fantastic decision.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. But I read this. Okay, I did find an article, and one of these days I'm going to try it. Probably not today. But you take the pre-made cinnamon rolls. You can either take out of the can or the frozen ones. We always do the frozen ones. Put them out, let them rise a little bit. But you put them in a muffin tin, and you kind of shape to the muffin tin so it makes like a bowl.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like you flatten the cinnamon roll out?
Yeah, you indent them or something. Oh, yeah. Okay, I see, yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, so then you bake them, and then you put your cinnamon roll on your plate, and then you put your chili, or you could do a bowl, I guess, and then you put your chili in your cinnamon roll. So your cinnamon roll forms your bowl.
Like a little miniature bread bowl made of cinnamon roll.
Right.
Damn, Kate.
But I don't think the muffin tins are big enough. So it's like, that's a tiny little cinnamon roll bowl.
How'd you come up with all these hacks?
I saw that on Pinterest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the cinnamon roll makes a lot of sense.
Now, I have done that with biscuits, Matt. You take a can of biscuits, and instead of putting it in the muffin tin, you flip the muffin tin over, and you kind of space the biscuit out over the part where the muffin would go, So it forms a nice little bowl when you do biscuits and gravy. That's pretty good. But I think that biscuits probably have a little bit more give than cinnamon rolls. I don't know. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Huh. So you opt for basically, because a lot of people do cornbread with their chili, so in your case, cinnamon rolls instead?
Yeah. I'm not a cornbread person.
Gosh, that sounds
My
good.
husband could do cornbread, but...
Why the frozen cinnamon rolls instead of the cinnamon rolls that make the gratifying noise, you know?
I do. Yeah. Why the frozen?
Yeah.
Because you can let them sit out for a little bit and rise, and so you get bigger cinnamon rolls than they're real good. They're real good.
Never made cinnamon rolls from a frozen one before. It's been too long since I made just the Pillsbury ones either. What am I doing with my life?
Monty's family, they are a family of bread makers and roll makers and cinnamon roll makers.
Okay.
And while I appreciate it, I'm like, y'all know that's in the freezer section or in a can, right? They taste just as good. And you ask Monty, who's like, I really wish you knew how to make these. I'm like, but your sister does such a good job. I don't want to try to mess with it. So
okay, so you've had these cinnamon rolls, and you're like, you know what? These would be just as good had you bought them out of a freezer. Is that what you're saying, Kate?
I'm not putting down their cinnamon rolls. I'm saying that's a whole lot of time and work when you can just go to the freezer section.
Well, have you told them that, though?
And get oh, heavens no. I just say
okay.
I'm not even going to try to make the rolls like you do because it's not going to taste like you do. Like yours does. Whoops.
Corrected that one pretty quickly. Yeah.
My bad. Yeah.
I get that all the time. You taste like freezer section cinnamon roll.
You go, wait, thank you. That was what I was going for.
Exactly.
Dab a little Pillsbury behind your ear.
Yeah.
Save these for later.
I do like the cute little cup of frosting that comes in there, and that looked good on like the in the bathroom there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh
man.
Well, that sounds tasty. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Enjoy some chili.
I'm gonna have to make it again. I'm gonna have to go to the store and then make it again.
I'm impressed with your resilience that you're gonna be able to go to the store and get it done again, because I would expect, you know what, I give up. I'm just going to buy. I'm going to Wendy's now. Just going to buy some chilies.
I'm going to Wendy's now.
Yeah.
Well, now that you put that in my head, it might happen. But both girls were really kind of excited for chili, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not like chili at all as a kid. Get that away from me. Kind of like like how you don't like beans currently. Or you find beans that kind of gross to look at. I think I was the same way with chili as a kid. Like beans in general, like, oh, what is that? I don't, And then you make a chili that is not very bean infused, right?
Mine is not, like, I did a can of beans last night. A can. And I did chili beans instead of kidney beans.
Yeah.
Is that what you're supposed to do?
I have no clue.
I don't know. I just went with what I had in the cupboard. But I was pretty spoiled growing up. My dad would make chili for him and my mom. Or my mom would make chili. And then they'd make me a separate chili where it's just ground beef flavored chili. There was no tomatoes or beans in it. So I'd have my ground beef bowl with saltines but my roommate made it, and it's like a chili soup, and she had like spicy V8 in there, and she had big chunks of tomatoes, and I really liked hers.
Interesting.
So I've been trying to make mine a little bit more chili soupy.
Okay.
And then I like mine with cheddar and a little bit of sour cream, and then Fritos, and it is amazing.
Have you tried it with Greek yogurt?
Get that out of here.
I had to ask. But
I know. I am a sour cream purist, meaning I don't even get like fat free. I get real sour cream.
Full fat.
Yep.
Extra fat.
Full fat. Bring it on the fat.
I'm looking at the ingredients. Is there lard in this? Where's the lard? Excuse me, where's the lard-laced sour cream?
If there's lard, I'm going to use it as a facial remedy. Just put that on.
Little bit for you, a little bit for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Mouth and forehead or whatever the hell you're doing.
Exactly. little cheeks, maybe a little bit on the nose, and the T-zone area, Matt. We're just going to put a little bit of sour cream.
Man, chili is so. I'm just too distracted by chili again. This is not the first time we've talked about chili on the show, and it won't be the last. In fact, that's another piece of listener feedback I've gotten before. Was when we talked about chili last time. Was I could listen to conversation about chili all day.
That's very kind.
And I was like, I can talk about it all day. In fact, it's
good news. I'm going to talk about it all day.
It's in our job description, in fact, turns out.
Mandatory now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bring you some chili soup. Now I've got pressure to bring, like, real chili.
Yeah, you threatened to throw chili, to bring, what all have you threatened to bring to me? Chili?
I will not throw chili at you.
Spaghetti?
I'll bring leftovers. Ugh. I would bring spaghetti, but that means that I wouldn't get any, so...
A bag of spaghetti specifically. You told me you were going to bring me one of those gallon bags. It's spaghetti mushed in there.
Instead of my Tupperware, give you a gallon bag.
Like it's zombie brains.
Exactly. It tastes the same. It reheats the same. It's fine.
I could swear this is zombie brains. This tastes fantastic, but this is just spaghetti? Oh, great.
It's Italian zombie brains. I can tell by all the oregano. Is it, though? It's more like, she's a dum-dum. I'm so glad I'm not like her.
Dum-dum.
We say dum-dum a lot.
I just love how playful your language is. Right? Dum-dum and
Nine-nine.
dog do. Like you're feeling about dog.
Oh,
you're like,
like
man, I'm feeling like dog do. And then there's days where you're talking to me and it's not on the radio and you use the actual words.
Well,
I feel like dog. Yeah.
Well, there's not a microphone in front of me. There's a little bit less pressure.
Dog do.
Oh, my girls are 8 and 10, and I still am like, did you go potty? Did you go poopy? Did you go potty?
Poopy.
I know. Oh, can we talk about poop for a minute? And by poop, I mean like kids poop.
All right.
So like my youngest, Elliot, when she was potty training, she was at daycare and she picked it up right away. But she was at daycare with like 3 other boys who are potty training at the same time. So I know you think this is going where she wants to stand to pee. No, she wants to get naked to stand on the toilet to go number 2.
To stand on the toilet seat and then squat?
She wants to take off her pants, take off her underwear, stand on the toilet, and squat like a frog, which is essentially like if we had a squatty potty in the house, right?
I was going to say that's how we're supposed to be doing it, I think.
But she's a baby and she figures this out. And there's been...
Well, that's the point.
Oh, my gosh. But there were several times we're at public restrooms and she's like, I got to get naked, Mom. And I'm like, do you have to frog it in this bathroom? Like,
frog it. That's
come on. And she's 8 now. She's probably going to die if I talk about this. But every now and then she's like, I had to frog it, but I feel better. So
I had to frog it because she had to really work it to get it out of there.
Yeah, but that's why we've got squatty potty. Squatty potty's happening in the new house. I'm really excited.
And because you don't want to acquire additional things for the apartment right now,
right?
Is that why you're not getting a special toilet that has a squatty potty feature built in? Are you?
Oh, okay.
That should be a thing. That should exist.
It should be a thing, Matt. But we are getting our own toilets because the standard toilets are like Oompa Loompa toilets. They are tiny toilets. Tiny.
Oompa Loompa.
Can I say that? Is that wrong?
No, I think that's fine.
Toddler toilets. They are so short, Matt. Like, again, we're going there. Like, you feel like you're falling. It's so low to the ground.
But once again, that's the best way for your intestines to be positioned in, or something. I don't know. According to the commercial and other things.
According to the commercial, yeah. But there's not going to be any room for the step. Because you're going to be on the ground already.
Hey, you're supposed to have your knees up to your chin or something when you're sitting there.
This is how the Native Americans did it.
Your knees up to your chin when you're sitting there. I'm going to make sure I say that correct. Then
how do you hold your magazine? Just kidding.
You just do your business and get out of it. It shouldn't be reading.
I know, Matt. Kidding.
But why? We were talking about how Oprah reads all those books on her toilet. So some people do it.
You talked about Oprah on the toilet.
Remember when you brought that up? So,
I didn't bring up Oprah pooping. You brought up Oprah pooping. And I brought up Oprah's got a lot of books to read. I mean, she's got to get it done. So then I went there.
Oprah's favorite things a while back. And turns out one of them is reading on the can. Just kidding. She didn't say that.
Just kidding.
Somehow it came up in conversation, but Oprah might be on the toilet reading all those books.
Oh, Oprah.
But the other thing, so about kids popping a squat, you know, yeah, that's the natural way to do it. The other thing is, have you ever read anything about like shallow breathing? You know, like, you know,
you're going to need to be more specific.
We need to train ourselves as adults to how to breathe again. Like people start, they'll do the opposite of what you really should do when fight or flight kicks in.
Okay.
Where you start like almost like hyperventilating instead of taking deep breaths. You know, like you've consciously got to tell yourself, deep breaths. You know, you should really see your stomach like inflate when you're breathing. Right. And that if you watch a kid like sleeping, look at their little belly go up and down. You know, they know how to breathe appropriately before they're trained into being dumb grown-ups who do all this shallow breathing. You know, so breathe and pop squats like a kid. There you go.
Panic attacks. When you can't breathe because you're doing the hyperventilating, there's, at least in my experience, so I'm sure everybody's is different, but just breathe is like, yeah, I got it. I'm trying, but I can't. I don't know. It's like when I'm having a panic attack and someone around me is like, just take a deep breath. I'm like, what the hell do you think I'm trying to do? Do you think I'm trying to die here?
Yeah, that could make it worse, but that's the appropriate thing to do. So it's kind of hard to be like, hey, idiot, don't you think I'm trying?
Well, right. It's
also hard to muster and hey, idiot when you're having a panic attack.
And maybe that's a good distraction from the panic attack, that I'm annoyed that this person is telling me to breathe and I'm like, yeah, got it. And then I start to come out of it. Maybe that's a good distraction point.
Maybe.
But it's when you're in, at least for me, when I am in it, there's no logic. Like, just take a deep breath. You're not dying. Get through this. Afterwards, you feel really embarrassed, like you were the drunkest person at the party and you did something stupid and you have to apologize to everybody around you. You're like, well, sorry about that. Got a little out of control.
Well, I mean, that's less in your control, though, than being too drunk at a party.
Right. But that is definitely the feeling where it's like, oh, man, there's a long list of people I got to call and apologize to. That's never happened. I don't know what that means. I've just heard from a friend that that's what they've had to do.
But yeah, panic attacks are perfectly normal thing to happen to a lot of people. I haven't had them often before. I've only actually feel like I've really had one legitimate one, and it was pretty horrifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up, Kate.
Yeah.
Thanks.
In my recent years of being a grown up and having them, it's really weird. Like, if I really can't get my breath together, Matt, like my face freezes and my hands clamp like lobsters. So it's really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very comfy.
It's like I can't get oxygen. I can only imagine the faces that my face is making because I can't breathe. And I don't want someone to take a picture of it, but I kind of do because I'd like to see, but it's probably not a good thing when I'm full-blown panic attack. It's the weirdest thing that my face freezes. Weird. Sorry. Panic attacks, totally normal, especially in 2020. And if you've never had them before, but you're having them now, 2020, totally normal.
Yeah. In these economically turbulent times, it's a totally normal thing.
Current times. These tough times. What else?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
uncertain times.
I'm not feeling as good about current times as I used to.
Right.
Well, I mean the phrase current times.
Oh. No, I don't get like current times either, Matt.
I know. Like,
who does?
These in-between times. Maybe. I don't know.
In-between times.
Yeah, I mean, we're in between the before times and then the second before times.
Right.
The after times, but not the end times.
The after times.
We're in the in-between times of the before times and then when the before times return.
There you go.
Current times, for whatever reason, doesn't feel as catchy anymore. I don't know. So my apologies to anyone that we've trained to say it that way. That I'm now saying, like, I don't know about that one anymore.
You're trying to redirect.
Right. In these economically turbulent times, you're changing the phrases we're supposed to use. Come on. Yeah, sorry.
Wah, wah.
Sorry. It's again apologizing to the listener here.
Yep.
Okay.
The only thing, I mean, we don't have to talk about the gifts. I added that yesterday.
I would like to talk about the gifts. I didn't
Okay.
notice that you'd put something in about gifts.
Okay. When you were saying, does anything appeal to you? I didn't know if that needs to be closer to gift giving opportunities or because we're coming up on Black Friday and Small Business Saturday.
Oh. Okay, yeah, so I see things in our document about gifts. I thought you meant like animated gifts.
Yeah, let's talk about
Like,
it.
oh, I'm always up for talking gifts and emoji, Kate. Let's do it.
Let's
But gifts,
do it.
Gifts. Okay, yeah.
Gifts.
Tell me about gifts, Kate.
Do you ever, I feel like you've purchased several things for yourself this year. So this might not really, but in years past, have you purchased Christmas presents for yourself?
Yes, I do believe I have said, you know what? I'm going to give myself a present. But I don't think that's been hasn't been a crutch of mine. I think typically I buy things when I want to, want to buy them. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. There's been a new survey, and it's from SWNS Digital. I don't know, you digital person, if you recognize that, but they did a survey that found that 25% of adults say they are planning to buy Christmas presents for this year, which I don't think that that's unheard of. I think that number is kind of low, but it seems that not only...
Yeah, just to buy Christmas gifts in general?
For yourself.
Like
Merry Christmas to me. Yeah. And so I think it seems low, but I also think that it seems that the survey found that not only do people think they deserve something special after this year, but they're also buying things for themselves because they don't expect to get many gifts from other people.
Okay.
Because of these economically turbulent times.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm kind of with you as far as like, if I want something, I buy it. But around this time of year, I feel kind of selfish buying myself something because I'm supposed to be getting gifts for other people. But I will say 9 times out of 10, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to spend that $20 on me because I know I'm going to want it. And I know that I'm at least getting one gift that I love. So I don't think it's unheard of to buy yourself a Christmas present.
Have you got yourself anything?
Not yet. I'm eyeing a few things right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm eyeing a few things.
But nothing yet.
Nothing yet. No, I haven't bought gifts for anybody yet. So I will say that I usually buy people gifts before I buy mine. I don't buy mine first. Probably buy it when I'm shopping for other people, though. A lot of times I'll get it during Black Friday. Like while I'm getting other gifts, I'm like, oh, this is a nice little deal. Merry Christmas, Kate.
Since you have the house purchase coming up, would you try to avoid gifting yourself or even gifting Monty something that would go into the new house? You try to segregate those two different things, if that makes sense? Kind
of, sort of. Like we talked about not doing gifts at all this year between the two of us.
Okay.
Which I'm not going to lie, that sounds horrible because I do love to give gifts. So I don't think I would play by the rules, which I don't think is very fair to him. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to nix that, but maybe how about I'll get my present and then I'll say it's from you.
Gotcha. So, but it's like, okay, the gift that I'm going to give myself is the camera feature inside the refrigerator. You know what I mean? Like make it something that's not home related. Because I could see being tempted to be like, well, the gift that I want is a riding lawnmower for the new house or something like that. Right.
And he would be great with that. Whereas like, I want a Roomba, but I do not want Roomba for a present. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's the kind of stuff. That's what I'm trying to say, yeah.
Gentlemen, do not buy a vacuum for your significant other for Christmas. This is not 1950. No. That is just a purchase that you need.
Even if it's a robot vacuum.
Even if it's an artificial intelligent. Yeah.
Okay.
Just like you need to buy new tires. That's not a Christmas present.
Yeah, what a bummer to buy tires. I'm still
I know.
feeling bad about spending money on tires recently.
I had to buy tires for my birthday a couple years back. And I was like, ugh, tires. And Monty was like, happy birthday. I was like, no, you still have to buy me something. Come on. But no, I don't think so. I get what you're saying. But at the same time, like the girls, I kind of want to get them stuff for their room at the new house. But I don't want to have the stuff until the house. Does that make sense?
Yes, you don't want to be collecting things and storing them for months. Right.
Right. Either in the apartment or in the storage unit. So I think we're going to do experiences really for the girls. We're going to do some painting lessons for Finn, and Elliot's going to do some horseback riding lessons.
How did the painting lessons an in-person deal?
Yes. Go
to a studio or something and paint there?
Yes, and it's small because of current times. It's a smaller class, and they're socially distanced, and they're all wearing masks. But should there be severe weather, it can move to a virtual. So she could do if I said I don't feel comfortable, she would do virtual for us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's an option.
Horseback riding, not so much, but that's outside.
Not so much. That is, well, it's in a big barn.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say it's outside without the elements.
Sure. Yeah, it's got a roof over it.
If that makes sense.
Right.
Like it's still going to be cold, but no snow and yeah. So I think that's where we're at, and I got a bunch of books on a secondhand book website. So so far I got them a bunch of books.
What website?
Thrifty. Hold on. I can find it real quick because it just shipped and I'm excited. Thrift Books.
Thrift Books. Have you used the site before, or this is the first one?
No, this is the first one.
All right, so you have to let us know how that goes.
Yeah, and I went with all like good condition versus like perfect condition or decent. But all these books that the girls are big into these series, these graphic novel series, and you can't get them at the library because everybody wants them at the library. So you're waiting for forever at the library. And if you bought them new, they're over $15. And I didn't spend more than $4 a book on like 7 or 8 books. So I'm kind of excited to see what comes in the mail.
Have you ever been to Half Price Books before, Kate?
Yes. And the one that's close to our school, there's always a giant line out the door.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. And I think it's a socially distanced line because people are spread out. But I think they can only have so many people in this. Every time I drive by, I was like, okay, when do I need to get in there where there's no line? I've been there a couple times, but I went and I wanted this book, Matt, and I thought I was getting a really good deal, and I still paid over $20 for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Good place for sheet music, by the way. For like I bought a lot of piano sheet music there at Half Price Books.
I didn't know that you dazzle in the ivories, huh?
I do what with it?
You dazzle in the ivories? Dazzle on the ivories?
Dazzle.
No?
I wasn't sure if you were trying to say dabble or dazzle, though. Even like I'm dazzling people playing. Yeah, I play the piano. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you play the piano right now? Do you have a piano in your house?
Yes, I do. I've got a piano in my house, and I've got way too many keyboards also.
Really?
Yep.
Why have we never talked about this?
I don't know.
How often do you play?
Not often enough. But I would say I average once a week, probably. But
how long do you play once a week? Like 30 minutes?
That's probably a good average time, but it's one of those deals where it's like, well, yeah, if you say half hour a week, that means some weeks where it was like an hour a day. You know what I mean? I'll go through really long dry spells, like droughts. But yeah, I can read sheet music and learn music, learn songs that way. Play the piano.
Look at you. Any Matt Stooks originals?
Yeah, I've written some songs.
Yeah?
But Yeah.
Just music? Any lyrics?
Yeah, mostly instrumental stuff. Instrumental stuff.
If you had to put your piano tastes in a box, which genre do you lean towards?
It's really interesting because
newer stuff, older stuff.
My grandma really liked songs from like the 40s. And so I have a lot of sheet music from like the 20s, the 30s, and 40s, because kind of started learning the 40s back in the day. And then like, okay, let's try the 30s. And then went down to the 20s. And then some present day stuff, more current stuff at least, like November Rain, the old Guns N' Roses song there. It's got some pretty good piano arrangement to that.
That has a beautiful piano arrangement.
Right. So just like my taste in music in general, I like most genres, I would say.
Wow, that's really impressive.
Classically trained. So
when are you going to bring a keyboard into the studio?
I don't know. Is that something I should be doing?
I think it should be. We can do a Facebook Live. No? You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
Well, it would need to be something like, okay, here we go. Here's an original song. What would it be? Like some kind of parody or
Matt
something like that?
Stooks Storytellers. Or Behind the Music.
I think this is the wrong kind of radio station for that.
That's what it's called. Unplugged, where he's like, I wrote this song.
Right. If this were a college radio station, we might be able to get away with more of me self-indulgently playing my own music for people.
Okay. All right. Yeah. But you could do covers of what we're playing here.
No, I don't think people want to hear that either.
No.
Now, people don't even really like to hear the just acoustic like a live version of some one song. They want to hear the album. They want to hear the single.
Not true, Matt. Not
Almost
true.
Always.
I love the acoustic versions. Dan and Shay just released acoustic. I should probably go to bed. I think I like it better than they're fully produced. I loved the Unplugged series on MTV where it was in just stripped down acoustic.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to hear about why you wrote the song, but I love the sound. Like Eric Clapton Unplugged.
Sure, and he actually had a song that was successful on the radio, Layla, both songs, the Unplugged version and the original. In fact, they sound like completely different songs.
Totally different.
However, that's like the only song that's ever been on one of those Unplugged albums that's had success on commercial radio.
No, you cannot. I'm not talking about success on commercial radio. I am talking about success in my brain.
Okay.
That I could listen. I'm not an Eric Clapton fan either. Like, I'm not like, woohoo, I love the 60s.
Well, you can start talking about how great jazz is, Kate, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a commercially viable.
Why does it have to be commercially viable? I'm just asking, like, people enjoy the things that aren't commercially viable or successful, like the deep cuts.
Oh.
Like, there's a reason that those songs made it on the album, because they were good.
The point was that we're a mainstream radio station, though, Kate.
Oh, Matt.
We're not going to start playing jazz in between songs.
Can we talk about old music, though, for a second? I wasn't going to
play Kenny. We're not going to play Kenny G between Justin Bieber and Post Malone.
Oh, now that's different. I can't. You keep your Kenny G, but I'll do the acoustic Eric Clapton or
not going to do that either.
Show tunes. Gosh, I'm not asking you to play this stuff. I'm just saying it's good. People like it. So come play your stuff, Matt. Play your stuff.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear. I just wanted to make sure that you were...
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to change our playlist.
Too inside radio,
Concerned listeners, I'm not trying to change what we do. It's going to be Jason Derulo with a saxophone singing his name every day, twice on
Kate.
Tuesday. I love that song.
Yeah. KJO 1055.
Anytime he can sing his name in his song, get it. But it's a saxophone. Who thought that saxophones would be making a comeback?
Well, yeah. Did you know that you can spend a full hour watching nothing but Jason Derulo singing his own name? Someone put a supercut together on YouTube.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, you can watch a full hour of nothing but Jason Derulo singing his own name.
And he can sing. Man, he can sing. You know, he's classically trained as an opera singer.
No, I did not know that. No.